Loading save data. Alrighty, looks like we're good and ready. Hey everyone, Ragnamoon here, welcoming you to hopefully what I plan to make my next Let's Play project, because I've been getting a massive hard-on for this series yet again. And considering I tried twice to Let's Play this, I figure, you know what, third time's the charm, but I'm going to change up just a few things to not only save myself the sanity, but also save a little bit of the monotony. Because I'm not that great at this game. I'm not that good in its entirety, so you're going to notice just a couple of things different, and by that I mean mainly one. And that one being that instead of starting at 1 day, we're starting at 7 days, $10,000. We have everything. I have not touched anything but the licenses. That is all. That is the only thing I touched. And considering that my last hangout session was Gran Turismo 2, I think I'm going to try Let's Playing this game again. I'm not going to have any music just because that'll avoid all the massive copyright hassle, and then I get to play our favorite driving games, so there you go. But to give you an idea of what kind of music we've got in here, there's Rob Zombie, ye old Dragula, and I'm playing with a very scratchy, dry throat because I don't know what the hell I ate for lunch the other day, but like after I finished it, took a drink of my water, my throat just went scratch city. But we've only got 10 grand. So that kind of limits our options, and it'll kind of get you to figure out what you can do. Now, I'm not going to take holy speedrun strats, because that'd be a terrible idea, since I've already gotten you already know I can go and get our lovable ultimate vehicle, the Pikes Peak Escudo, and just absolutely cheese this game in a matter of 5 races. But I am not going to do that. Instead, we're going to take it nice and slow. We're going to do a couple of things here and there to just have a good old time. My mic was up for some reason. But let's go ahead and look at some of the used cars here. So, everyone's first mistake is that they think you should take a Miata. That is something you should never take. This is usually my car of choice, the Infiniti, just because it does, as you know, it's the car that I used to basically break this game a new one. I said I'm not going to take speedrun strats. That's probably going to be my car of choice for beginning this game. Nissan has a decent amount of used cars as well. I mean, if you want a nice, easy Skyline of some sort, you can take any of these. They're not the best. I would highly recommend this type of Skyline, because this was actually going to be this was another car I was actually trying out to see if it would do stuff. And considering we're going to be playing this more casually, I find this a fantastic starting car. So we're going to go ahead and start with this. So why that and not the Mazda Infiniti? Or rather, why the Mazda Infiniti over everything else? It takes up about the 10,000 bucks, and oh, it's FR. Okay. So these little buttons up here are shortcuts. They let you go right to your map. They go to the races, and this particular icon here takes you home. We're going to go ahead and go back to Nissan because I think I can make a very slight adjustment. I am going to spend all 10 grand here. You go to tune if you want to get yourself started. There's plenty of things here we can do. But I think for intents and purposes, we're going to start with the level 1 weight reduction. That'll be a nice start. I really don't care about the transmission. Clutch is going to be impossible for us to get. We could get a carbon drive shaft, that'd be nice, but all this lovable stuff we can't get. If I had 200 more, I could up my horsepower by 3. Horsepower just essentially means how well your car is graded in performance. But that level 1 weight reduction should help us out a lot. So you don't have much to pick from at the beginning of the game. We could go straight into Gran Turismo League, but we're going to get our asses handed to us. Well, actually no, Tahiti Road I think would be fine, but effectively this is how the game works. Gran Turismo 2 Nationals. We need to win all of these races to unlock all of these races in order to unlock the Gran Turismo 2 International Championship. Win this, and you've effectively, quote-unquote, beaten the game because it unlocks credits. However, because we got the Super License, we can go to the event generator. And the event generator basically it basically auto tunes a 2-lap race based on what your based on what your car specs are. If you have this is a pretty good way to get to the fast track. However, for whatever reason, you don't get trophies for doing this. If you pick expert, you get entered into a 5-race tournament. So we're gonna say nuts to that. Normally, whenever you play this game, you'll have a couple of free cups here. You want to go into the Sunday Cup because this has the tracks. We're just gonna start by racing Tahiti Road here while I explain away. I'll go over more of these parts settings and the like whenever we get there. But know that this is kind of how it's gonna have to work. Let me turn my volume down a bit. Apologies if the fans are hitting, but it's pretty hot out. It's not too terribly hot, but it's still hot enough where I need a fan. I'm going to turn that down so that I can actually hear myself talk and nothing gets echoed. So, race number 1 is almost always going to be Tahiti Road for people, and I don't blame them. I know you guys are just as surprised as I am that I'm not trying to rush 25,000. Isn't it just precious? I'd love to record this game at 30 FPS, but unfortunately, if I tried to record at 30 FPS, I would get some huge-ass frame issues, so 25 is going to be the way to go for me. I find 25 is just a nice, safe number. There's enough frames, and why am I worried about crashing? I should not be worried about crashing in the slightest. Especially because these first couple of races are going to go by super fast. Especially because I actually know what the hell I'm doing with my gameplay this time around. Yeah, this is a really nice, easy track that is just... It's supposed to be your suitable beginner-style track because there's no real sharp turns outside of maybe 1 or 2. And if those cars actually catch me, I'm gonna laugh. These cars should not be able to catch me. But, yeah. It's a nice, simple race. We get to look at all of the. I'm probably blowing all of my cards early here, but there's even a pit stop. What is this, NASCAR? It might as well be NASCAR. Look at all the car advertisements from back in the day. You got your car companies like Subaru. You got your classic companies that everybody knows: Dodge, Ford, Chevy. Let me think here: Mazda, Nissan. As well as a few that you might not know about, like Tommy Chiara. Honda's another popular one, I believe. Subaru. I don't think Subaru even got relevance until this game. What sucks is there's no Buicks. We need station wagon hoopties. I totally did not steal that joke from Mark from Classic Game Room, but he's right. He's right though. We need station wagon hoopties. Bring back Buick. I mean, imagine driving in a game like this, the 1947 Buick Packard. Would that not be hilarious? I am probably going to be referencing the classic game room interview of this game a lot, if only because I love... Let me put it this way. When before the whole patron stuff, before they closed down for being an independent company and now they're getting patron dollars and stuff like that, I absolutely adored Classic Game Room. And part of me still does today, if only because they were the first video game review show, and they just did a whole hell of a lot for the review industry. So you can get a glimpse of what cars we were playing against, like a Daihatsu. There's a Mitsubishi. That's another decent car company. You'll also notice that if you ever played a game like Need for Speed Carbon, this game is kind of broken up into that same kind of concept. We're not going to save until I'm done with the part. And I probably need to get this. Yeah, hang on. If you hear stuff, it's because I'm getting... There we go. It's because I'm taking my mouse away, giving myself a keyboard so I can actually save state this game way easier. The only time I'll ever make save states is at the end of a part, by the way. Yeah. So that was Tahiti Road. Very nice. Here comes a nice, faster sort of track, but still a very beginner-friendly one, the High Speed Ring. This one's going to teach you about having to maintain your speed again amongst and against kind of corners and stuff. The hell was I talking about? Oh right, Mark Bustler and Classic Gamer. Like they were friggin' awesome back in the day. They were the very first video game review show, and just they're great. Like they were great. Are they? I feel like nowadays I've looked at them and they are now good, but not great. If you know what I mean. Like I like them. I will always like them and give them the massive respect because they're doing stuff that I kind of wish I could do with my life. And that means playing video games for a living and making money off of it. But at the same time, it's like I feel like I'm a bit biased of a gamer. So while I try to think about other things, let's go ahead and talk about high-speed ring here. As you can see here, this is the name implies that you need to keep your speed up. We're probably going to have to brake a bit here, indeed. I always loved the Nissan Skyline brake lights. They're some of my favorites. They are going to end up trying to get past me. Alright, there's that. Nice little S-turn there. It's not far-fetched to see people lose this race just because of the way that they go and get stuff. And I swear, whenever you hear a car like right up on your grill like this, I can't believe I just said grill, kill me now. Whenever you hear someone's car up against you like that, like the engines, it's like, oh god, they're getting faster, help me, help me. Like, you'll notice that we're, like, right in line with these guys. These are the kind of cars we should be facing off against in these cups. They're going to progressively get harder. They're going to progressively get faster. We don't need to brake here at all. We're going to have to brake here a bit. And that's what I'm talking about, because you'll see those cars likely manage to maintain like 90 miles an hour. They managed to get 90 miles an hour where we can only manage 80. But that's likely because of the way that car pathing is programmed here. That's likely due to how car pathing is programmed in this game. Cars will always try to take that most optimal path that they can, but sometimes they can even ignore just standard car physics altogether. Alright, we should be good here. Do this just to make sure that they don't pull any last-minute stunts, because whenever you're not looking at them, they can get really sneaky on you. But there we go. That's high-speed ring done. There's a 240SX in there. And you can kind of give an idea while you're going through all of these racetracks, just how different and interesting these cars can get in terms of like their performances and whatnot. Because let me tell you, sometimes these just get absolutely ridiculous. Ridiculous. Alright, next is probably the track that I know the most because I race it 4 fucking times, pardon my French, in the speedrun. And that is Red Rock Valley. I love this track. It's one of my favorites, if only because I know it so damn well. But I feel like we're going to be racing. That's a Mazda right there, that hooded one next to me. That's a Mazda Miata. Have anything? I think that's like one of the 212 horsepower Miatas. Speaking of which, Miata's a fantastic car for what we're going to want to do. Hell, I'm probably going to end up splurging and buying an Audi to take care of a lot of the national races, just because a souped up and tuned Audi is damn near unstoppable in the early game. I've been playtesting a lot of cars as well, just to be like, okay, what cars do I want to buy to show off the most? What cars do I want to avoid like the plague and all that sort of thing? Alright, so this turn right here is very infamous amongst people that race here, because it's like you're thinking, okay, we need to brake, we need to brake. No, they're not. Those aren't like hard braking turns at all. You keep your speed up, and you have to enter it from the outside and go in. And that's kind of the basis of all racing games in general, even so much as like the Nintendo-friendly ones like Mario Kart and the like. These guys are getting stupidly fast on me. I don't like that at all. But again, that's just because of the way that this game scales your difficulty. It says free, so you don't know how fast the enemy cars are going to be. The game will break them to a point where, at this point, we can stay ahead of them no problem. I want to try my damnedest. As you can see here, these cars are getting stupidly faster now. Now that car's gonna overtake me. I want to say that's a Miata. That's got to be an Audi ahead of me. That had to be a friggin' Audi. There's no way that's not an Audi. Ah, Devon, they even have tire companies plastering their mark everywhere in this game. You've got your classics like Yokohama, BBS, NK. Basically, if you played a Need for Speed game and you saw tires and packages and whatnot, same companies. Like, these aren't like fictional companies that are there for Rule of Cool and Racing, like Street Glow or something like that. These are legitimate car and accessory companies. Alright, so long as I don't screw up this next upcoming turn here, we should be victorious. We didn't even need to brake for that, yet the AI will brake for that turn. Alright, keep your eyes forward. Just because you don't want them doing something stupid like passing you when you don't deserve to be passed. There we are. We're done there. Okay, that was an Alta and a Honda. And there it is. I was right. There was a friggin' Audi in this race. That Audi T Quattro is freaking great, though. It's probably going to be my next car I end up going to get somewhere along the future. But that's all of these Sunday Cup races. You don't really get anything that's outside from a bit of spending cash. And these are the races you're going to end up grinding a lot, just so that you can continue to get money to buy some better vehicles. We need about 12,000 more in order to buy said better vehicle. So, oh my God, excuse me. Let me get back to racing. Because I want to do like one or two more, because I want to make these just a bit more casual. Like, they're more casual, but I'm not gonna like constrain myself on time. I'll basically play until I feel like it. So this is the Clubman Cup. It's gonna be harder, but it's gonna be a little bit. This first track here, Rome Short. In my original iteration of the speedrun, hey, look what's in front of me. In my original iteration of the speedrun, I raced this track 5 times to get my Lancer before I knew that I could win Seattle Short. But still, that proves that if you don't want to deal with Seattle Short, but you still need to deal with Red Rock Valley, you can still get your Pikes Peak Escudo if you're vigilant enough in little under an hour. Which is still a fantastic time to be getting that stuff. What is that behind me? Like, I want to know what car that is behind me. That's kind of the other bad part. You don't know who the hell is behind you until... You don't know who the hell is going to be behind you until until the race is over. So it's like, you want to know what car that is, among other things. So yeah, they're gonna have that. They're gonna speed up quite a bit here towards the end, just because this, even though there's a bit of a turn, is pretty long of a straightaway, and this car is not optimally tuned for doing a lot of stuff. Part of me wishes I kinda chose the other car, but the Mazda Infinity. But I'm happy with this one just because I know what it's capable of. Oh my God, that British taxi just went. Whoa, that taxi went flying, man. What the hell, British taxi? Yes, that's what I call the Mini Cooper in this game. I call it the British taxi because look at that thing. That thing just screams, "Hello, governor!" whenever I look at that thing. Alright, we should be good. Let me just go ahead and turn to make sure that they don't pass me. Here we go. That's an easy win there. That was an easy win there. Yep, I guess this isn't so bad. We need about... Let me hit next. We need about one more race, and then I can sell this car and buy a better one for grinding purposes, and that's probably what I'll end up doing because Grindelwald, yeah, we'll race Grindelwald. Funny enough, in Gran Turismo history, Grindelwald and Red Rock Valley have not made a return, as far as I know. I know Grindelwald has. I'm not too sure on Red Rock Valley, but Grindelwald, fantastic racetrack, was only put into this game, as far as I know. Never came back. What a missed opportunity. This is such a fun short track. In fact, I will likely get my ass kicked here, so expect to hear me slightly rage quit because I can't do it. I might also spin out because there's like little patches of land on both sides. I don't know if I can win this at this car strength. That was a pretty good turn there. Now this little straightaway down here, it feels like a straightaway. It's a really fun one, if only because this is kind of like your downhill jam of sorts. Slow cars get faster, fast cars get insane. As you can see, as you'll notice, they brake a little bit there. Yeah, I think I can win this if I get lucky on the second lap. Yeah, I've got to get lucky, because they're gonna out accelerate me here. Oh God, what is that? What is that trying to cut? Oh God, I bounced off the wall there. That ain't good. Man, this is one of those games that I can also just curl up by the bedside with a thing of hot chocolate and not rage at because I know what's a pick and whatnot. That was a really nice turn there. Why couldn't I have made these turns in frickin' license mode? Because look at these turns. I am nailing these turns now. Apologies if I am giving you guys seizures by looking back constantly, but it's like, I gotta make sure that these cars don't get ahead of me. Okay, that was a good turn, but it could have been better. Like I said, I gotta get lucky here. Because that car that's behind me right now, he's going to try and pass me. Okay, we should be good. Yeah, we're good. All right. I was worried for nothing. We could beat this course easy. And I know for a fact I am not trying Rome Circuit, just because there's going to be a little bit stronger the cars I got to be careful for. I think I have enough of the car that I want. So before I save my game, I'm going to go ahead and see if I do. If not, I have to sell this Skyline before I can buy it. But I think you all know what that car I'm going to buy is. let's see. East City. Mitsubishi. I don't want to go to the used because a used one will not work. Ah, I do have to sell the damn car if I want that. Alright, so let's go for some backups. Welcome to North City. This place has more of your British and German sort of cars. I'm going to see how much an Audi is here. 46.5? Get the hell out of here. Can't afford anything here. BMW is a great car company. For those of you that like Need for Speed, this is the company that created the fictional car, the BMW M3 GTR, which is pretty much the poster boy for the Need for Speed series. Everyone wants that kind of car. And I mean everyone. We're going to go home. We're going to sell this bucket car because it's a bucket car. So now we have no cars. So we're kind of bricked right now. Or are we? Dun dun dun. So we go over to New Long. So, as you'll know, I love this car. Unfortunately, the one that I need to purchase is going to be stuck in the Scotia White. I have 524 cash left. That's nice. But I think that's going to do it for this episode. So I'm going to make a save state here, back up this memory card, and then I will continue on from there, as well as check for syncing issues. So, let's see here. Let's see if I remember how to do this. I believe 3 is the load key, if I am right. Oh, I got a fucking demo. Alright, game. Let's go ahead and 1, 2, 3, 4. You can see like a couple of thumbnails here. Okay, so I was right. I was right on that. Alright. So we're just going to speed that through. And I will get that ready for... There we go. Our save states are set and secure. See you guys later. Take it easy.